This is your brain on rationality. Japan resides on the Ring of Fire, as does Chile, and both areas are prone to earthquakes.
It's part of the Ring of Fire, a cauldron stretching from the Americas to Southeast Asia, roiling with volcanoes and earthquakes. 80% of the world's worst quakes happen here. The 9.1 quake that triggered the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. A 9.5 quake in Chile in 1960, the strongest ever recorded. A 9.2 quake in Alaska in 1964, the second most powerful on record.
To find natural disasters such as earthquakes in Japan is no more relevant an observation than saying that train crashes happen mostly on railway lines. Japan is arguably the most technologically capable nation on earth, and if anyone is prepared to deal with such a disaster, it's Japan. Those who understand the science, those who built their buildings to resist earthquakes. Those who have the tsunami warnings.
Japan, an archipelago prone to earthquakes and subsequent tsunamis, has been developing its own tsunami research and warning systems, and is offering its expertise to create a warning system in the Indian Ocean.
The weather agency and media have developed an online system to superimpose alerts on TV screens as soon as they are issued. And in some areas, there is even a system that automatically turns on TVs in the event of an evacuation order. Kamigaichi added that the agency aims to issue tsunami alerts within 3 to 5 minutes after a quake that occurs in or near Japan.
Those who have the emergency planning for such events. To determine that technology is a critical factor in reducing death tolls like this, compare this natural disaster to the Banda Aceh tsunami, where the majority of the previous technologies had not been implemented. Technology matters. That was your brain on rationality. This is your brain on religion. You simply cannot behave this way without religion.
God is such an amazing God. He is so good and so loving, and it's amazing to see how fast God answers prayer sometimes. On Wednesday, at the start of Lent, believers all over the world came together, and we have been praying specifically for God to open the eyes of atheists all over the world. Literally in every corner, in every direction, any place that there is an atheist, we've been praying for God to open their eyes and to see that there really is a God, that He does exist, that He loves them, and that He is the God of the Bible, that the Bible is true. And just a few days, not even a few days later, God shook the country of Japan. He literally grabbed the country by the shoulders and said, "Hey, look, I'm here." Oh, it's just so amazing to see how God can just answer prayers like this. And I am just so overjoyed and so encouraged for the rest of this Lenten season. I'm going to be praying even harder than I have ever before. And I mean, with just one day of prayer, with 2 days of prayer, to see God literally waking people up and saying, "You are going to hell." Just imagine what will happen at the end of the 40 days. My brothers and sisters, I thank you so much for praying with me. And if you haven't started praying for atheists to open their eyes and to turn from their ways, it's never too late to start. You can pray right now. Just pause the video, get on your knees, and pray to God. Ask Him to turn these atheists away from their evil ways. And I believe that at the end of this Lent season, oh my God, I can't even begin to think how vengeful He's going to be on America, because we have a lot of atheists here in America. I mean, Japan is a fantastic place to start, but I mean, once he hits Europe, once he hits America, it's just going to be crazy. It's going to be insane, and people, you better be ready, because by the time Easter comes, every person will know that God is real. The Bible says that on that day, every knee shall bow and every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. God, I thank you so much I thank you for your amazing love, for your ability to answer prayers so fast. God, you are such an amazing, awesome God. I love you so much. I am just so encouraged. I just want to pray all day long. I hope you will all do the same. God, you are so good. I love you, God. You are so amazing. Be encouraged, my brothers and sisters. God does answer prayers. Look at Japan. That is a direct answer to our prayers. I'm just so overjoyed. I can't even contain my joy. Oh, let's get back to praying.
Now, to an extent, if this girl's for real or not is an irrelevance. The mere fact that you cannot tell shows just how messed up this is. And the fact that Jerry Falwell and Pat Robertson, previously some of the most powerful and religiously respected figures in America, have said stuff just as twisted, and with 100% sincerity, really drives this point home of just how much religion can mess up your mind. I mean, here they are, for instance, blaming 9/11 as God's judgment for secularists, people promoting equal rights, gays, and so on. Take your pick.
What we saw on Tuesday, as terrible as it is, could be minuscule if in fact God continues to lift the curtain and allow the enemies of America to give us probably what we deserve.
Well, Jerry, that's my feeling. I think we've just seen the antechamber to terror. We haven't even begun to see what they can do to the major population.
The ACLU's got to take a lot of blame for this.
Oh, yeah.
And I know I'll hear from them for this, but throwing God, or successfully with the help of the federal court system, throwing God out of the public square, out of the schools. The abortionists have got to bear some burden for this, because God will not be mocked, and when we destroy 40 million little innocent babies, we make God mad. I really believe that the pagans and the abortionists and the feminists and the gays and the lesbians who are actively trying to make that an alternative lifestyle, the ACLU, People for the American Way, all of them who tried to secularize America, I point the finger in their face and say, you helped this happen.
Well, I totally concur.
However, for those whose brains are not on religion, one pair of hands at work will achieve more than 1 billion clasped in prayer. Indeed, your prayers will be no more effective at relieving this disaster than this girl's prayers were instrumental in causing it. But to be honest, Japan has done the most important thing. They had the brains thinking that we know we live in an earthquake zone, and we know this sort of thing is inevitable. And in that inevitability, how can we best marshal our technology to minimize its impact? For sweat saves blood, blood saves lives, and brains saves both.